was not born speaking English confidently, and honestly, I was very scared of speaking it at the beginning. I knew some vocabulary and grammar, but whenever I tried to speak, my words got stuck and my mind went blank. I felt nervous, embarrassed, and slowly I started believing that English was not for me and I would never be able to speak fluently. At that time, I used to practice English only when I felt motivated, and when motivation disappeared, my practice stopped. Some days I studied a lot, and then I stopped for weeks, and because of that, I saw no improvement. One day I realized that the problem was not my intelligence or talent. The real problem was my lack of consistency. So I decided to change one simple thing in my life, and that was practicing English every single day. I did not aim for perfection, and I did not practice for long hours. I just promised myself that I would not stop, even if I could practice only for 10 minutes a day. First, it was very uncomfortable, and I made many mistakes while speaking. Sometimes my pronunciation was wrong, sometimes my sentences were broken, but I continued speaking without fear. I talked to myself, I spoke in front of the mirror, and I described my daily activities in English, even when my English sounded bad. Slowly and quietly, consistency started showing its power in my life. My fear of speaking English became smaller, and my confidence became stronger day by day. I stopped translating every sentence in my head, and English started coming naturally, not perfectly, but smoothly and confidently. After a few weeks, I noticed that I could express my thoughts more clearly, and after a few months, people around me started noticing my improvement. That was the moment I truly understood that consistency works even when progress feels invisible. Consistency does not need motivation, and it does not need talent. It only needs discipline and patience. You do not need to speak perfect English to improve. You just need to speak regularly without stopping. Every mistake you make helps you learn, and every day you practice makes you better than yesterday. If you want to change your English speaking skills, remember this one rule and follow it daily. Speak English a little every day, listen to English a little every day, and trust the process even when progress feels slow. If you stay consistent, improvement is guaranteed, because consistency has the power to change everything. Consistency is not something that gives results in one day, and this is where most people give up. When you practice English today, you may not feel confident tomorrow, but every small effort is quietly working in the background. Even when you feel that nothing is changing, your brain is learning, adjusting, and building the habit of thinking in English. There were days when I felt tired and lazy, and I did not feel like practicing at all. On those days, I reminded myself that stopping was not an option. I told myself that even speaking one or two sentences was enough, because doing something every day is always better than doing nothing. That small mindset helped me stay consistent without pressure. Over time, English stopped feeling like a subject and started feeling like a language. I did not panic before speaking anymore, and I stopped worrying about grammar while talking. My focus shifted from speaking correctly to speaking confidently, and that shift made a huge difference in my fluency. Consistency also helped me improve my listening skills, which made speaking easier. When you listen to English daily, your brain starts recognizing patterns, pronunciation, and natural sentence structures. Because of this, speaking becomes automatic, and you no longer struggle to find words during conversations. One important lesson consistency taught me was patience. Improvement does not happen overnight, and comparing yourself with others only slows you down. Everyone learns at a different pace, and the only real competition is with your past self. When you stay consistent, you are already winning. If you are afraid of making mistakes, remember that mistakes are a sign of growth. Every fluent English speaker you see today was once a beginner who made countless mistakes. The difference is that they did not stop practicing, and consistency helped them reach where they are today. English-speaking confidence is built step by step, day by day, and word by word. There is no shortcut, but there is a simple path, and that path is consistency. When you commit to practicing daily, English becomes a natural part of your life, not a fear you try to avoid. So keep going even when it feels difficult, and keep practicing even when you feel uncomfortable. One day, you will look back and realize that consistency changed your English speaking skills in ways you never imagined. And when that day comes, you will be proud that you did not stop. Another thing consistency taught me was self-trust. In the beginning, I did not believe in my own ability to improve, but when I showed up every day and practiced English, my confidence slowly grew. Even on days when my English sounded weak, I knew that I was moving forward, and that belief kept me going. Consistency also removed the fear of judgment. Earlier, I worried too much about what others would think if I spoke incorrectly. But daily practice helped me realize that people care more about communication than perfection. When you speak regularly, your focus shifts from fear to expression, and that is when real improvement happens. I also learned that consistency does not mean studying hard every day. It means staying connected with the language every day. Sometimes I watched a short English video, sometimes I listened to a podcast, and sometimes I just spoke to myself for a few minutes. These small actions, repeated daily, created a strong foundation for my speaking skills. With time, my vocabulary improved naturally, without memorizing long word lists. Because I used English every day, words started coming to my mind automatically, and sentences flowed more smoothly. This made conversations easier and reduced hesitation while speaking. One powerful benefit of consistency is that it builds discipline. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline keeps you moving even when you feel tired or bored. When English practice becomes a daily habit, you no longer wait for the right mood. You simply do it, and that consistency brings results. If you are starting your English speaking journey today, do not wait for confidence to come first. Confidence is not the beginning, confidence is the result. Start small, stay regular, and trust the process, because consistency will slowly shape your skills and your mindset. In the end, English is just a language, not a test of your intelligence or worth. When you treat it as a daily practice instead of a big challenge, learning becomes easier and more enjoyable. Consistency turns fear into familiarity, and familiarity turns into fluency. So no matter where you are right now, keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep listening. Your English will improve, not because of luck or talent, but because you chose to stay consistent every single day. Consistency also changed the way I saw myself as a learner. Earlier, I thought fluency was something only smart or talented people could achieve, but daily practice proved that belief wrong. Every time I spoke English, even imperfectly, I was training my mind to think, react, and express in a new language, and that daily effort slowly reshaped my confidence. There came a point when English no longer felt heavy or difficult. I did not panic while speaking, and I did not search for perfect sentences anymore. I focused on sharing my thoughts, and that made my speech more natural and relaxed. This transformation did not happen because of one book, one course, or one teacher. It happened because I stayed consistent. Looking back, I realized that consistency gave me something more valuable than fluency. It gave me courage. Courage to speak without fear, courage to make mistakes, and courage to continue even when progress felt slow. That courage is what truly changed my English speaking skills. If you are listening to this and feeling stuck with English, remember that you do not need to change everything in your life. You only need to change one habit. Practice a little every day, stay patient, and do not stop. Let consistency do its quiet work, because it always delivers results. Today, I speak English with confidence, not because I am perfect, but because I never quit. And if consistency could change my English speaking skills, it can change yours too. Stay consistent, trust yourself, and one day you will realize that English is no longer a fear, it is your strength.